what's going on, team? Today we are in the gym, or I should say outside the gym, and today we're doing an upper body bench press focus for our workout. And what I thought would be cool would be to show you some of the warm-ups that I like to do to prepare for the bench press and really any general upper body pressing day. Obviously we know that shoulder tweaks and delt and pec issues tend to creep up a lot of times with the bench press. So hopefully you're just going to be able to get a few ideas of things that you can incorporate mobility and activation wise to incorporate into your own workouts, for your warm-ups, and even drills that you can do as active recovery between sets. So let's take a look. I really like using the mini band in this wrist cuff position to get the shoulders prepped. Of course, the idea here is to keep moderate tension out against the band while keeping the traps down and shoulders away from the ears. You're going to want to resist the urge to flare the elbows out too much, and of course when you're locked out at the top, really think about stiffening up the triceps as you drive the arms and biceps back behind the ears. And this is just a great move to get the scapulas working and the delts warmed up. These rotations here are pretty simple, but they feel fantastic. I do this all the time. You're simply reaching hands behind the back, one reaching down, the other reaching up, and trying to touch as close as you can with those hands behind the back. This is really going to help to open up the shoulders in this active joint mobility type approach. You're almost guaranteed to have an imbalance on one side to the other here, so don't worry too much about that. And then we have classic band pull-aparts. I like to do this version with a little pull down motion at that diagonal angle there. Then of course letting the shoulders hunch forward a little bit at the top, and of course retracting and pulling down, getting into the lats, rhomboids, rear delts, just a classic bench prep drill there. The Egyptian twist is another fun, active joint opener. The two things that you really want to focus on here are reaching the fingers away from each other and then also driving the palms high towards the sky. Really like doing scapular pull-ups for bench prep. I've made a few videos on this exercise, but the idea is that you allow the shoulders to elevate and then actively pull down. And here I also like to push back, and that kind of mimics the action of bringing a bar into place off the rack before a bench press. Moving on into some push-up variations. Here I'm starting with a pro traction push-up, and I'm actually kind of overdoing it a little bit here. You can see I'm kind of hunching through the T-spine. Probably not that necessary, but the idea here is that you want that scapula to be moving freely and easily. Then going into some power-oriented push-ups with a little pause at the bottom and a fast push-up before finally moving into standard push-ups into a downward dog stretch. Again, here the idea is simply being to work the shoulder and the shoulder blades through various ranges of motion. So if you watch my videos, this one should come as no surprise. I'm a huge fan of the bottoms up kettlebell position, and just like with the rest of our drills, we're really working on that rotator cuff and shoulder strength and stability with this exercise. Now specifically, you notice with this exercise and with the cuff raise that I'm doing that in a half kneeling position. And that's because I also want to start stretching the hip flexors, because when we get into a bench press, obviously we're going to adopt a little bit of an arch, and that really necessitates having open hips. So really like to address that here in prep work as well. And one of the final exercises that I like to do before benching is actually using the torque stick. And this is really gonna help you get in touch with the pecs, right? So developing a strong mind-muscle connection is really important for the bench, because most of us just end up jacking up our delts anyway. So we really want to get the pecs good and active and get that mind muscle connection. So with the pec stick, you can just do overhand closes, holds, and again, just really think about using the pecs as a muscle group to bring those shoulders in. You can also try the underhand grip. And the whole trick here is just to take your time and try to find those lines of tension. Figure out where you're overactive, figure out where you want to put more tension into. And obviously it's very easy to kind of overwork the delts, the arms here. A lot of times the pecs are kind of left in the dust. So something as simple as pec stick closes can really be the cherry on top to make sure that you're getting your pecs in the game when it comes to the bench press.
Last but not least, we are doing reps with the empty barbell. No matter how strong you are, it always pays to do some work with the empty bar. Treat lightweight like it's heavy, and eventually heavyweight will feel lighter.
So there you have it, 8 to 10 exercises, which should really only take you about 8 to 10 minutes to perform. Obviously, like I mentioned, these can be valuable things to add to your bench press warm-up, or as ideas you can intersperse within the session itself. So if you liked the video and you got something out of it, do give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.